Okay.
It helps when we give them
I'm,
the right address.
well, I'm gonna start the webinar. If there are people in there that belong to you, I can escalate them up.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see who's actually in the waiting
You
room.
can't see it until we start it, the meeting.
Hey,
Yeah,
Kevin.
so I don't know if that's maybe somebody hit the wrong link, and that those are maybe some of our panelists that hit the public link instead of the panelist link or not. So if we want to go ahead and start it, I guess we can start and just see if any of those people are, we need to escalate up.
Never mind.
We're starting the webinar. Please watch your mics.
Are we seeing anyone else that's joining or?
Yes, we'll have another one in just one moment.
Okay.
Jim Woods is coming in. Let me know when you're ready to start.
Do we have a quorum now?
We're still waiting on one more.
There's Ms.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Our March 5th, 2025 meeting, special meeting of the Charter Authorization Panel is called to order. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Zoom meeting, and I ask that if you are on Zoom or if you're in the ADE auditorium, if you please silence your electronic devices so that we can not have that to disturb us. As always, the goal is to facilitate a fair and responsible hearing. So therefore, I ask that each person speaking, please state your name and title each time you speak into the microphone for the record. I ask that you continue to speak clearly into the microphone throughout your presentation for the benefit of the panel, this audience, and the viewing audience. The meeting is being live streamed and recorded, and a transcript of the meeting will be posted on the DESE website. For today's special meeting, we only have one agenda item, and it is for us to have an opportunity to follow up on the presentation that was provided by Friendship back in our February CAP meeting. The intent of today's meeting is for us to have already reviewed the budget that was submitted as requested by the charter and have an opportunity to ask any questions of them, get any clarifying points. And then after that point, we will have an opportunity to finalize our vote on their application for adding the additional campus for the purpose of dyslexia students, but serving as an open enrollment charter, as they stated that they would receive all students that came to their school in application. So at this point, I would like to turn it over to, is it going to be Mr. Smith or Mr. Wood that's going to introduce the charter? Sorry, Dr. Smith, sorry.
You're all good. I will introduce it. So this is a special meeting, obviously, that we've, as Dr. McMurray Wright has alluded to clarify some of the comments that were made in our previous meeting, primarily due to the budget and wanting to see the school budget and the impact that it had on the overall, basically district budget and how the impact that it would have. So at this time, I'll just leave it to the CAP to ask any questions to Dr. Tran if there are any, and if any follow-up questions, and then at that point we can follow up with a motion.
Just to make sure that we are doing everything in order, I would like to have an opportunity to swear in Mr. Tran and any of his colleagues that will be speaking on behalf of the charter today. So if I could ask those that are in the auditorium for ADE and then also those online that are going to be speaking on behalf of the charter, all those giving testimony today on behalf of Friendship Aspire Academy Arkansas, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony or statement you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so as Dr. Smith stated, at this time, we'd like to give an opportunity for panel members to ask any questions that they may have, and then give also the charter an opportunity to respond to those questions or provide additional information as needed. So I will start with Mr. Baldwin. Do you have any questions for the charter as it relates to their budget?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Tran, thank you for putting together the budget. And my question would be if you could just walk us through the budget and talk to us about any key points that you want to mention as you all develop this. I think it's well done, and I would just be interested in hearing you comment on it.
Sure, Mr. Baldwin. I have Scott, our finance person there, and he can go ahead and step through that with you.
Scott McRae, Director of Finance for Friendship Aspire
If
Charter
we have him
Schools.
on mute. There we go. I think you're ready to go, sir.
Okay, thank you. Scott McRae, Director of Finance for Friendship Aspire Charter Schools. Good morning. The budget that you have in front of you, we did go in and make the changes that you requested. We did add a separate column for each year for just the standalone dyslexia campus. Some of the high points I would like to touch on, we did make changes to the revenue piece. We have recently received the new state foundation funding amounts for the next 2 years, so we were able to add quite a bit more revenue, which also will allow us to budget more resources for the school, for the students, and you can see that in this budget. We did also, on the expense portion, we kind of detailed out the staffing and how much each staff will cost, so I hope that will help. One thing I would like to add that's not on this budget, for the past couple of years, we have ended each year with over $1 million of reserve funding. So, you know, that's always available to the school when needed. Other than that, I don't really see anything else that jumps out. You know, obviously with a small campus like the dyslexia school, you know, we're not going to end each year with a large ending balance, but we do have it budgeted around between $30,000 and $50,000. Obviously, you know, schools, we try not to hoard money. We want to spend it all on our students and provide them all the resources that we can. But, you know, when you look at each one of these columns for each year, you know, we have a very healthy ending balance budgeted for each year.
I was pleased to see that the dyslexia campus is actually accretive each year. I wasn't sure that it would be. You know, that's not unusual, especially for small campuses, to lose money a little bit. And I expected that the larger organization would have to support it. So I'm happy that it doesn't show that. Let me ask you, this would be my final question. As you all prepared this, and I've prepared a lot of budgets, so I know that you make assumptions as you go through the process. And I've always asked my CFOs if the budget is conservative, moderately aggressive, or aggressive, you know, because you can reach out and be aggressive with the budget, or you can be very conservative. How would you describe this budget to us along those, in that context?
Well, I mean, I've been doing budgets for schools for about 15 years now, and anybody that works with me will tell you that I do a budget very, very conservative. The last thing I want is to not have the funds available to, you know, meet the needs of the students or make payroll. I always add additional expenses that, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, we probably won't spend these, but, you know, I budget them. I would rather end with a larger balance than, you know, a smaller one that I put on the budget. If that makes sense, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does, and that's also comforting. So I'll just conclude with a comment, and then I'll let the other panelists ask their questions if they have any. I think this is a really good model for a school budget where you're adding a new building, and we see a lot of different schools do this, and sometimes it's not clear really what they're trying to do, but I think you guys have done an excellent job putting this together. I'm sorry that you had to go through, you know, the process of coming back for a special meeting to do it. But this is well done. I want to thank you for doing it. And, you know, Dr. Smith, this is a good model for other schools to use because it's not overly complicated. You can actually see it really on one page. And I think simplicity is always a good thing when you're doing finances. Thank you.
I think you're on mute. There you go.
Sorry. There you go. Sorry. Ms. Newton, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Thank you. And thank you for joining today. And Dr. Bacon, do you have any questions?
I think I just have one. I apologize for not being on video. I'm on the road for school visits between Springdale and Green Forest today. The one question I had, just a little more explanation, would be, I think it's about $48,000 that's listed this year. I think it's under maybe contracted services. I'm assuming we're talking about support therapists. I'd like a little more detail on what that includes.
Yeah,
You're
yes.
correct, Dr. Bacon. They're with the OT, PT, speech, and other services that we may provide to the students.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any questions. I just want to make a comment. Again, I appreciate the charter taking the time to provide this document to us and coming back in today to visit with us. As we shared at the last meeting, our intent and our desire is always to make sure that as we move our recommendations forward, that they are strongly supported, academic, administration, and also financially. So we definitely appreciate you guys taking this time today to visit with us.
No, thank you.
So if I don't have any other questions at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the submitted budget and to be able to move the request forward without the contingency attached.
I make that motion.
There's a motion, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so motion by Mr. Baldwin, second by Ms. Newton, that we accept the budget submitted by Friendship Charter and allow their application to move forward to the state board without the contingency attached. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, so please say aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? Okay, so the motion passes. And so at this time, I would like for all of the charter members that are able to go to their voting sheets and submit your votes for the record. All right, Mr. Baldwin.
Yes, I voted to approve the amendment application and to remove the financial budget contingency. The financial budget submitted resolved all of my questions.
Ms. Newton.
Okay, I voted for the motion because the budget questions and concerns were answered.
Thank you. Dr. Bacon?
I voted to approve the motion based on my confidence in Friendship's ability to successfully transition the dyslexia school to an open enrollment public charter school.
Thank you. And I also voted for, I said that I support Friendship Charter's amendment application to move forward without contingencies. I'm encouraged to see the charter has been thoughtful and conservative in the development of their budget. The decision in building their budget has a student's first mindset. And I'm confident that Mr. Tran and his team will implement an effective model that may serve as a future example for others when addressing students with literacy learning differences. Okay. Thank you again for joining us, Mr. Tran and your team. We greatly appreciate you and all the work that you're doing here and in other schools across the state.
Dr. McMurray,
Thank you.
if I may, you do need a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I was going to do that.
Okay.
No, they're fine, but thank you for keeping me honest. I just wanted to thank them again because I know that they're doing a lot of good work there, and then also with the Marble Lane campus and other places. I just wanted to again get that on the record.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your support and thank you for your help.
Yep. So with that, I do not see any additional business that's in front of the charter today, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, have a motion?
Second.
Okay, second. Okay, motion by Mr. Baldwin and a second by Dr. Bacon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ayes have it. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Bye.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you, y'all.